Hey guys, this is Chapter 7 notes, and what we're going to do is, in Chapter 7, we're just dealing with exponents. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. Okay, so Chapter 7 is all about exponents. In 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, it's pretty much the same thing over and over and over again. So it's really, really important that you get 7.1, so that way we can keep doing all this stuff. So 7.1 is just 0 and negative exponents, okay? And if we look here at this little circle, okay, so 0 as an exponent. So if we have 0 as an exponent, so if I have 4 to the 0 power, it equals 1, okay? And the reason for that is since we're not multiplying 4 by actually anything, because 4 to the 0 power, it's always going to equal 1. Negative 3 to the 0 power equals 1. 5.14 to the 0 power is 1. So every time we have any number x to the 0 power, it's going to equal 1. Okay? Every single time, no matter what. Then, for negative exponents, for every non-zero number a, if it's the negative exponent, we move it to the bottom. Okay? So you're going to hear me say this about 1,000 times. If it's negative, move it to the bottom. Okay? If it's negative on top, move it to the bottom. So we have 7 over negative 3. Well, it's negative on top, so I want to move that to the bottom. When I move it to the bottom, I have 1 over 7, and then my 3 becomes positive. Okay? On negative 5 to the negative second, it's negative on top, so I want to move it to the bottom. When I move it to the bottom, just the exponent becomes positive. Okay? So let's just kind of jump right into that. So on problem 1, we have 9 to the negative second power. So I have a negative on top, right? I have 9 to the negative second power, okay? So if it's negative on top, we want to move that to the bottom. So we just put a 1 on top, and when I move it to the bottom, it becomes 9 squared, okay? Notice that my exponent goes from negative to positive when I move it down. So 1 over 9 squared is 1 over 81. And that's all we have to do. If it's negative on top, move it to the bottom. And if it's negative on bottom, move it to the top. Vice versa, okay? Now on B, we have negative 3.6 to the 0. Well, what is every single number in the world to the 0 power? That's always going to equal 1. Okay, remember, no matter what the number is, it could be a billion, it could be 100 billion, it could be negative 2, it could be 6, whatever. X, whatever number it is, to the 0 power always equals 1. Okay? So we'll do a couple of these, then I'll leave a couple for you to do. So on A, I've got 4 to the negative third. Well, I have that negative exponent. When you see that negative exponent, you need to think, okay, it's negative on top, I need to bring it to the bottom. So I write 1 on top, and then my 4 negative 3 moves down, so it's 4 positive 3. Okay? So 1 16/64. So 1/64. Now on B, I have negative 5 to the 0 power. Well, what's any number in the world to the 0 power? Well, that's just going to be 1. For C, I've got negative 2, so I need to think, negative 2, what do? Bring it to the bottom, so that's 1 over 3 squared. When I bring my exponent down, it becomes positive, and 3 squared is just 1 over 9. I want you two to do these two. I want you guys to do these two, okay? Do not leave them blank. This is part of your notes. This is a point for your notes, okay? Make sure to do them. So, as we turn the page, look, we're already half done. We get this fun mess. So, what is the simplified form of each expression? Now, when we're dealing with exponents like this, it's crucial that we take it one form at a time. So I always just write my equal sign and then draw my line, okay? So we look at 5. 5 is a term by itself. Does it have a negative exponent touching it? No, it's just a 5. So if it's just 5, we leave it alone, okay? So 5 just goes on top, okay? Then I have, so let me change colors for better. Then I have a cubed, so a to the third. Is there any negative exponents there? No, it's just a to the third, so I leave it alone. And then finally, for my last one, I have b to the negative 2. Well, I have that negative 2, right? If it's negative on top, what do? Bring it to the bottom. So that's going to be b squared. Okay? And that's my answer. That's all I have to do. I'm done. Okay, I don't have to plug in, don't have to do anything. That's my answer right there. Now, on B, it gets a little different. So I write my equal sign, draw my line. So I have 1 on top, right? And then I look on bottom and I have this x to the negative 5th. Can I have negative exponents? No. So if it's negative on bottom, I want to bring it to the top. So it's just x to the 5th over 1. Okay? So once again, with exponents, it's crucial to look at them term by term. So I'll just go back to A. 5 is by itself in its little box here. 5, there's nothing wrong with it. It just stays, we leave it alone. A cubed, nothing wrong with it. We leave it alone. B squared, I've got to bring that to the bottom. Okay? If it's negative, we switch from top to bottom. So on B, it's x to the negative 5th on bottom. So to get it positive, I want to bring it to the top. So when we look at these down here, I've got x to the negative 9th. Well, can I have a negative exponent? No. If it's negative on top, I move it to the bottom. So it's just 1 over x to the 9th. On B, it's 1 over n to the negative 3rd. I can't have negative exponents, so if it's negative on bottom, I move it to the top. So that would just be n cubed. And that's all I'm doing. That's all we're doing. Just if it's negative, we flip it from top to bottom. That's all we're doing. On C, once again, this has multiple things, so we want to take it term by term. So I just start off with 4. Okay? I start off with my leading coefficient, my number out front. Is there anything negative touching 4? No, I leave it alone. So there's my 4. My next term is c to the negative 3. Can I have c to the negative 3rd? No, I cannot. If it's negative on top, I put it on bottom. Okay, so now it's positive. Now it's okay. And then finally, I have b. Is there anything negative touching b? No, so I just leave it alone. So I get 4b over c cubed. For d, we have 2 on top. Is there anything wrong with 2? Any negatives? No, 2 stays the same. Okay. Then I've got a minus 3. Okay. A to the negative 3rd on bottom. I can't have it on bottom, so I want to move it to the top. So when I move it to the top, my negative 3rd becomes positive, and I just have 2 a to the 3rd. And then finally on E, okay, on E, I have n to the negative 5th. Can I have that? No. So the 1 goes on top, and n to the 5th is on bottom. Now on bottom, I have m squared. Is there anything wrong with n or m squared? No, it's fine. It's not negative, it's positive, so we just leave it alone. So it's on bottom, we leave it on bottom. Okay? And guys, for now, that's all we're going to do. So hopefully that made sense. I know it went super, super quick, but I want to keep this video kind of short. So on Monday, you need to come to class with all of this filled out, everything I have ever done, and then finish these 2 up here, and then we'll go over problem 3 in class. Okay? Have a good weekend. Stay out of trouble.